Jaguar invited us to Spain to see what the all-new version of its best-selling XF is all about. Clearly, the biggest story here is the aluminum-intensive architecture that checks in nearly 265 pounds lighter than the outgoing car and features a shape that provides a 0.26 coefficient of drag, which is the same as a Prius. While the previous powertrain combo consisting of a 340 horsepower supercharged V6 and 8-speed automatic carries over, that engine now puts out 380 horsepower in the higher performing S trim, which Jag claims is good for a 0 to 60 sprint in 5 seconds flat. Despite that familiar face under the hood, the lighter, more streamlined XF now returns up to 30 miles a gallon on the highway, which, when you compare it to 300 plus horsepower competitive vehicles, is actually quite good. Even greater fuel economy can be had in mid-2016 for the 2017 model year, when the 2-liter diesel option becomes available. Rounding out the drivetrain details is a new chain-driven rear-biased all-wheel drive system that's available on all models for an extra $2,500 or so. This revised all-wheel drive system now works in conjunction with a new stability control program dubbed All-Surface Progress Control. It's kind of a stupid name for a pretty awesome piece of technology. We actually had an opportunity to test it on a wetted road course, and regardless if we booted the throttle or stabbed the front end, the system just gathered itself all up and kept everything in control. On the road, the ride is a bit firmer than that of the BMW 5 Series and Mercedes-Benz E-Class, and that's even with the optional adaptive damping suspension. But, like the Cadillac CTS, firm doesn't mean harsh, and therefore it's perfectly comfortable for most drivers. Then again, this sporting demeanor makes a bit more sense as you inch ever closer to the XF's handling limit, which I'm sure every owner will do with their new XF. We spun a few laps on the Navarro circuit, and I can honestly say that the XF is one of the few mid-sized luxury sedans that doesn't feel out of place on a racetrack. On the more practical side of the driving spectrum, the steering is, dare I say, perfectly weighted. Seats are well cushioned and supportive, sight lines are good in virtually every direction, and cabin noise levels are more or less on par with the rest of the segment, though it is a bit difficult to tell out here, seeing as Spanish roadways are quite a bit smoother and well kept than those in America. The interior does come up a bit short when it comes to materials quality. Unlike the A6, E-Class, and GS, the XK's lower interior panels are comprised of hard plastics. There were also a few ill-fitting trim pieces in evidence. On a happier note, the rear quarters now offer an additional inch of legroom and headroom despite a lower roofline. The infotainment suite has been wholly revamped as well, offering an optional 10.2-inch touchscreen linked to a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster featuring a full-screen map view. Operating under the unfortunate name of InControl Touch Pro, this new multimedia platform is quite possibly one of the finest touchscreens we've ever tested, thanks in no small part to touch gesture controls, a quad-core processor for rapid response times, a configurable smartphone-style home screen, and Nokia's well-regarded HERE navigation system with a nifty Street View function. Also on offer is a full-color head-up display, automatic collision braking, lane departure assist, and a seemingly outdated embedded 3G hotspot. With a starting price of around $53,000, the 2016 XF undercuts its predecessor as well as rival 6-cylinder sedans for roughly $5,000. Of course, most entries in this competitive set offer turbocharged 4-cylinder models that start in the $48,000 range. For those who are willing to wait, Jaguar's new 2-liter Turbo 4 will find its way into the XF line in late 2016, thus reducing its starting price by a few $1,000s. So while it may not be the new benchmark among business-class luxury sedans, the changes made to the 2016 Jaguar XF have certainly catapulted it into recommendable territory.